President Trump holding a wide-ranging news conference earlier about the tragic crash in Washington, D.C. Well, there's still a lot we do not know. Many people are asking is, will this tragedy, this crash, lead to material changes to make air travel safer? Let's bring in Phil LeBeau now with a lot more. Phil.
Brian, I wouldn't be surprised that ultimately there will be some changes within the air traffic control system around the country somewhere down the line, once they have drawn an official conclusion from what caused this crash, this mid-air collision between a U.S. Army helicopter and an American Airlines regional jet. Let me bring you up to speed in terms of where things stand with the investigation right now. The NTSB, the National Traffic Safety Board, Transportation Safety Board, it will be giving an update in about 15 minutes in terms of where they stand. They lead the investigation, by the way. Meanwhile, the New York Times is reporting that the air traffic control tower at Reagan National, when the incident happened, the staffing was not normal. The article from the New York Times, which was posted in the last hour, basically says there's usually two ATC control operators in there, one dealing with civilian aircraft, one dealing with military aircraft, but there was only one at the time of this incident. And finally, Reagan National, it has reopened. Let me show you the map here, because I've had a number of people ask me, well, how exactly did this happen? You see the Potomac River there? The runway you want to focus on is the one at the top there. That is runway 33. That is the runway that the American Airlines jet was coming in on final approach. That's when it was in a collision with the U.S. Army helicopter, which was on a training flight. And it's not unusual that you see Black Hawk helicopters flying in that corridor around Reagan National. If you fly into there, you know that you see a lot of those flights. Meanwhile, for the acting administrator who has just been named for the FAA, remember the previous acting administrator resigned right before President Trump was inaugurated. Chris Rushlow is his name. He's a longtime FAA presence, executive, if you will. He used to lead their accident investigations, left briefly, now is back, and he is the acting administrator, and he inherits a situation that, according to the head of the Transportation Department, the new Secretary of Transportation, will include a real thorough analysis of what exactly happened so it doesn't happen again. Here's what he had to say.
We will not accept excuses. We will not accept passing the buck. We are going to take responsibility at the Department of Transportation and the FAA to make sure we have the reforms that have been dictated by President Trump in place to make sure that these mistakes do not happen again.
And again, we still don't know the true root cause of this collision. There are some theories that have been bouncing around. The New York Times report is certainly going to fuel a lot of discussion about air traffic control, the tower, if it was not properly staffed. We will learn probably more from the NTSB probably in about 15 minutes when they give their first briefing. That's just going to be an initial one, guys, where they say, here's where we are. Have we gotten the black boxes? Have we, are we able to start doing some analysis in terms of what happened? By the way, I should also point out that New York Times report is based on a preliminary safety report based on this incident that the FAA put together that the New York Times says that it saw.
But a big deal, we got to go, Phil, but a big deal, if accurate, because you don't want to fly into O'Hare, we don't want to fly into Newark if there are not enough controllers on the job. That's it.
And if they're doing two jobs, if one person's doing two jobs instead of two separate people, that's a huge issue.